totally fascinated. And
Yeah.
it almost, when you look at it, you still don't realize that you have one of those in your head.
Yes.
Like I still don't.
Now, so you're still looking at that as that's one thing. I don't look at it like that at all. This is a brain, but what's important about this brain is our brain health, our brain abilities is 100 dependent on the cells that make up that brain. So most people, many neuroscientists talk about the brain and how the brain does in the external world and the behavior and the neurotransmitter systems and all of that. I go down to the raw data of the cells. So I am a cellular neuroanatomist, and so I care about the cells making up the nervous system and how do we interact with them? How do we relate to them? How do we care for them? How do we feed them? How do we provide for them so that they can be healthy, so that I can live a whole brain life in a healthy way?
For context, where did you do your PhD? You did your PhD in neuroanatomy at Indiana State University?
Indiana State, and my research was at the IU School of Medicine, Indiana University School of Medicine. So that's where I focused on neuro.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went to Harvard Medical School.
Yeah.
And did 2 postdocs, one in neurobiology and then one in psychiatry.
And when I say the 10th of December,
Yes.
1996,
Yes.
which was 4 years after I was born, roughly,
Mm-hmm.
you were 37 years old.
Yes.
What happened on that day? Can you give me a play-by-play?
Yes. Well, the day before that, I was teaching and performing research at Harvard Medical School. And I am a gross anatomist, which means cadaver, entire body, as well as histology, which is tissue, as well as neuro. So I am all about anatomy. So I teach and performing research at Harvard Medical School. And I woke up the next day and I was experiencing a major hemorrhage in the left half of my brain. So I woke up, I sat up, and I immediately had a pulsing pound behind my left eye. And generally I didn't have that, and it was pretty severe, and it got all of my attention. And I have my before and after that morning.
What happens next? So you've got a pulsing pain behind your left eye. What do you do then?
Well, I thought, wow, that's weird. And it's the caustic pain that you get when you bite into ice cream. It's like that freeze brain. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay. And I felt suddenly weak. And I thought, okay, so I got up and light was kind of burning on my eyes. I didn't want light in the morning that day. So I closed the curtains and I thought, well, let's get my blood flowing. Maybe I'll feel a little better. So I jumped onto my cardio glider, which was a whole body full exercise machine. But I'm looking at my hands, realizing that my hands look like primitive claws grasping onto the bar. And I look at my body and I'm thinking, whoa, I'm a weird looking thing. And my perception of reality shifted away from my perception of being the one on the machine, having my normal morning experience, to, wow, I was witnessing myself having this experience. And I'd never had that happen before. And I thought, okay, so this isn't helping. So I get off the machine and I head across my living room table. And I'm realizing every movement is very rigid and very precise. And I'm actually kind of directing. I felt very robotic getting into the bathroom. So I remember pulling on the water, and when the water came out, it smashed into the tub, and the volume just reverberated in my brain. It was so loud, the sound was amplified, and it pushed me against the wall. But when the volume hit, I'm a neuroanatomist. So what that means is that I'm teaching students about all of the anatomy here and which fibers are coming in and going where and what is the tracks of everything. And so sound comes into the ears and it goes right down to the pons region of our brain down here. And this is where life and death is. This is where those cells, if you're going to inspire, you need your pons and your medulla in order to have those cells functioning. So when mine were being disturbed, that was the moment I realized I've got a problem. This is a grave problem. This could kill me. So I got out of the shower. I dressed mechanically, just dressed. I'm still going to work. And then my right arm went totally paralyzed by my side. And it's really strange when a limb goes paralyzed. It doesn't just like drop down. It goes boom. I mean, it's a heavy entity. And I thought, oh my gosh, paralysis. Oh my gosh, I'm having a stroke. And then I'm thinking, okay, oh my gosh, how many brain scientists have the opportunity to study their own brain from the inside out? And I literally thought, okay, I'll do this stroke thing for a week or two, and then I'll get back to my job, right? So then it was a matter of, I have to get help. I have to communicate with the external world. And the problem was that the hemorrhage was happening inside of the left thinking portion of my brain, which is where language is. So I was drifting for 4 hours. I was drifting in and out of the consciousness of the present moment. And in the present moment, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I am. All I know is what's in the present moment.
So explain that for me. So
yeah.
The left side of your brain was where the stroke was happening.
Yes, it was.
So you were in the right side of your brain.
I was waffling back and forth because it was growing. It started small. So I had what we call an arteriovenous malformation, where an artery, which is a high-pressure system, it's bringing blood into the system. And then I have a vein, and the vein is a no-pressure, low-pressure system. And then we have these little capillary networks in between. Yeah. This isn't a ischemic stroke. I had the hemorrhagic stroke. So when you think about stroke, most people think, oh, blood clot. And the blood clot blocks so the thing about arteries is they taper until they get down to the capillary level, which is where the red blood cells kind of line up in single file and pass through that. And it's a very low pressure system. And then it absorbs back up into the vein. Well, what I had was the hemorrhagic stroke, and a blood vessel exploded. And when it exploded, then the blood goes out into the extracellular matrix, which is extracellular between the cells, and the cells cannot function. Blood is essentially poison to cellular communication. So it's no good. And whatever blood, wherever it goes, those cells start going offline. And then as that hemorrhage grows inside of the brain across time, more and more cells are becoming incapacitated.
So you were, in that moment, unable to remember how to speak properly, unable to...
Nothing. I had nothing. I didn't even have me. I had no Jill Bolte Taylor because she was over in the left hemisphere. And eventually that whole hemisphere ended up swimming in a pool of blood and was non-functional. But it took 4 hours to get there. So I was waffling into the present moment, blissful euphoria. I didn't exist. I know who I am and that I exist at all because I have a tiny little group of cells inside of my left hemisphere that tells me who I am. Have you ever awakened in a hotel somewhere because you've traveled so much and you're going, where am I?
Yeah.
There's this blank, right? And it's like, I don't know, but the bed's comfy, what a nice room, and all of a sudden you're just right here, right now, and you're not about the past and you're not about the future and you're just in the present moment. And joy lives in the present moment. Love lives in the present moment. Laughter lives in the present moment. The present moment is a fantastic place, and we are wired to that by literally half our brain. So why wouldn't we spend more time over here? Or at least balance it out. That's all I ever ask for. I am not here to, as a waving the flag of the right hemisphere. I want whole brain living. I want people to understand the different parts of their brain, what they do, so that it says, okay, so let's say, do you meditate?
Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes. What's it like for you?
Difficult.
Okay, why?
Because you start thinking about stuff.
Okay, because this part of your brain won't be quiet.
That's
Left thinking brain.
Yeah.
We're languages. It won't be quiet. Or you just had a little argument with your sweetheart, and so down here now you're in your emotional system and you're not really feeling peaceful, and you got on that airplane and things weren't like perfectly smooth. So now you're kind of ruminating about oh my gosh, and whatever. And that takes you away from the present moment. But the present moment it's not about me, the individual. I think about this, so I look at the brain, it's divided into 4 categories, very specific anatomically. Each one of those result in a constellation of skill sets. And then that constellation of skill sets actually manifests in our lives as personalities. And we all have all 4. Now, do we all practice all 4? No. Some of us do. We usually have a dominant. You seem to like your left thinking brain a lot. When do you have fun? What does Steve do for fun?
This?
No,
also I watch Manchester United play, and
you lift weights.
Yeah.
What's that like for you? Is it work or is it refreshing?
Both.
To be in your body?
Oh, when I'm at the gym, I'm just in my body, which is, yeah.
Okay, but no, not just but. When you're at the gym, you're in your body. Now, can you go back in your own mind and have that feeling?
Can I?
Yes.
How?
Well, go there in your mind.
I actually imagined myself on the treadmill at my favorite gym and how that felt. And I had a brief moment of that feeling emerge in my mind.
And what did it feel like?
Present. Yes.
Okay. And any other emotions that you can attach to
Just
that?
like calm, peaceful,
Yeah.
without concern, very present.
Yeah.
Very present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the present is a nice place for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else do you do to get there?
Massages.
You receive massages.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happens to your brain? Do you analyze what's coming and just work your butt off? Or do you allow yourself to actually drift and shift into the present moment of, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm here?
I allow myself to drift.
Good. Where do you go?
I don't know. It's like a fuzzy
Yes.
middle ground place.
Yes. No boundaries.
Some kind of limbo.
This portion of the brain up here is going to be the part that says who you are as an individual. It's your ego center. This hemisphere, the left hemisphere, has the picture of nature with you in the middle because you exist in your left hemisphere.
That's where the world revolves around you.
The world revolves around you. In the right hemisphere, you don't even exist. You exist as a part of it all. So what you hear gets integrated with what you smell, with what you feel, gets integrated in the excitement of possibility. So I'm